On.
Hi everyone, I'm here with a Bible reading. I hope you're having a good day. Today's prayer, Psalm 116, verse 1. I love the Lord because he hears my voice and my prayers. I love the Lord because he hears my voice and my prayers. Psalm 116, verse 1. And prayer requests. Update. Our niece Abby Myers, she was due for a C-section on March 15th. And I had a feeling, well, it don't matter because the baby might decide to come when he wants to. She went into labor last night and they had to do an emergency C-section. So the baby is born, a boy. Columbus estimated his weight at 10.5. They said at the hospital last night they thought he'd be at least 11. When he was born, he was 9 pounds 6 ounces. So he was actually smaller than they thought. Head full of dark hair and 21 inches long. They had a hospital full of people, but we weren't allowed to go, so. But I just wanted to update you guys. Okay, so the rest of the prayer requests. Mommy and baby doing good, by the way. Please keep the following people in your prayers. Sherm, Cindy and Jim, Dora Carper, Rhonda Karshner, Donna Dunlap and Ray Dunlap, Layla, Elizabeth Jeffries, Emil, Joyce Light, Judy Thompson, Bonnie Jean, Bonnie Jean's husband Randy, Bonnie Jean's cat Misty that she returns home, Bonnie Jean's sister-in-law Lori, and Bonnie Jean's dad, April Thacker, and please still keep the Holstein Farney families, all the ones who are related and knew their 2-month-old baby that passed away. His funeral was on the 9th of March. It's so sad. He's a picture in the obituary too, and he was so cute. Had a big old smile on his face. Okay. So that is that. So yesterday we read about Jesus being arrested, tortured, crucified. And then he gave up his spirit. He died. So today we're going to be reading Jesus has risen. I wish they would have saved this for around Easter time. But a lot of times here it's been in March for longest time, but it's April 9th this year. So it's a little early. So it'll be Mark chapter 16, Psalm 55, and Proverbs chapter 11, verse 7. This is from the other one. Okay. When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James and Salome, bought spices so that they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early on the first day of the week, just after sunrise, Sunday, Easter Sunday, they were on their way to the tomb, and they asked each other, "Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb?" Because they were women, and the stones that covered the caves are huge and heavy. But when they looked up, they saw that the stone, which was very large, had been rolled away. As they entered the tomb, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. It was an angel. "Don't be alarmed," he said. "You are looking for Jesus the Nazarene, who was crucified. He has risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him? But go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him just as he told you." Trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. And when they told the disciples, a lot of them didn't believe it. But Peter and either James or John, I'm thinking James, took off to the tomb. They took off running to it. Now, the earliest manuscripts and some other ancient witnesses do not have verses 9 through 20, but we'll read them. When Jesus rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had driven 7 demons. She went and told those who had been with him and who were mourning and weeping. When they heard that Jesus was alive and that she had seen him, they did not believe it. Afterward, Jesus appeared in a different form to 2 of them while they were walking in the country. These returned and reported it to the rest, but they did not believe them either. Some people will not believe unless they see it. That's why Jesus says, "Blessed are those who believe without having to see," or without seeing. Later, Jesus appeared to the 11, all except Thomas, notice Didymus. As they were eating, he rebuked them for their lack of faith and their stubborn refusal to believe those who had seen him after he had risen. Keep in mind, Jesus, after he rose from the dead, was still on this earth with his disciples and others seeing him for 40 days before his disciples themselves seen him descend to heaven on a cloud, or ascend to heaven, sorry. He said to them, "Go into the world and preach the gospel to all creation. Whoever believes and is baptized will be saved, but whoever does not believe will be condemned. And these signs will accompany those who believe. In my name they will drive out demons. They will speak in new tongues. They will pick up snakes with their hands. And when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all. They will place their hands on sick people, and they will get healed." After the Lord had spoken to them, he was taken up into heaven, and he sat at the right hand of God. Then the disciples went out and preached everywhere, and the Lord worked with them and confirmed his word by the signs that accompanied it. Because the disciples, Jesus gave power to heal people, bring people back from the dead, take demons out of people. And they went all over preaching. And most of them later in life would end up being murdered because of being Christians. And some in horrible ways. And that's when they're old. Like Peter, not all of them were old. You remember poor Stephen, that the teachers of the law had killed, and he done no wrong except being a Christian. He was stoned to death, and he was a young man. They said face of an angel Stephen had. Peter, he died when he was old by being crucified, but he refused to be crucified like Jesus because he didn't want to compare himself with the Lord. So he asked and was granted being crucified upside down instead. So that's how he died. Okay, so that's where we're stopping with the book of Mark today. And Psalm 55, for the director of music with stringed instruments, a maskil of David. And it has 23 verses. And then we have, I believe, 1 proverb. Okay, so let's read the song. Psalm 55. Listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea. Hear me and answer me. My thoughts trouble me, and I am distraught because of what my enemy is saying, because of the threats of the wicked. For for they bring down suffering on me, and assail me in their anger. My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death have fallen on me. Fear and trembling have beset me. Horror has overwhelmed me. I said, oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. I would hurry to my place of shelter, far from the tempest and storm. Lord, confuse the wicked, confound their words, for I see violence and strife in the city. Day and night they prowl about its walls. Malice and abuse are within it. Destructive forces are at work in the city. Threats and lies never leave its streets. If an enemy were insulting me, I could endure it. If a foe were rising against me, I could hide. But it is you, a man like myself, my companion, my close friend, with whom I once enjoyed sweet fellowship at the house of God. As we walked about among the worshipers, let death take my enemies by surprise. Let them go down alive to the realm of the dead, for evil finds lodging among them. As for me, I call to God, and the Lord saves me. Evening, morning, and noon I cry out in distress, and he hears my voice. He rescues me unharmed from the battle waged against me. Even though many oppose me, God, who is enthroned from of old, who does not change, he will hear them and humble them, because they have no fear of God. My companion attacks his friends. He violates his covenant. His talk is smooth as butter, yet war is in his heart. His words are more soothing than oil, yet they are drawn swords. Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken, but you, God, will bring down the wicked into the pit of decay. The bloodthirsty and deceitful will not live out half their days, but as for me, I trust in you. Alright guys, and that was Psalm 55. Beautiful Psalm of David. Okay, let's see. We are going to read Proverbs chapter 11, verse 7. Hopes placed in mortals die with them. All the promise of their power comes to nothing. No matter how powerful someone is here on this earth, they're still going to die. Maybe when they're young, maybe when they're old, maybe through murder, maybe through suicide, maybe through natural causes. But they're still going to die, and they will meet their Maker. Just like all of us will, and they'll have to answer for what they've done. Just like all of us will. The good and the bad. Remember, you'll be known by your fruits. Good fruit or bad fruit. That's your actions. By how you act and treat others. But that was everything for today, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye, guys. God bless. Please keep Abby and the baby in your prayers. Supposed to stay in the hospital, I think, 2 days.